Making a Murderer,
Netflix
and chill.
Hello and welcome to Netflix and Chill, where we, watch Netflix programming and let you know what we think of it, so you don't necessarily have to do it. There's so much out there, you may not want to watch it all. And we are talking about an old school Netflix original, House of Cards, Season 1. Going into Season 1. First off, what is this about? It is a political drama. It's a remake, believe it or not, of 1990s British series called House of Cards, which is interesting. It stars Kevin Spacey as the majority house whip Francis Underwood, and his wife Claire. I think it's Claire, right? Claire, played by Robin Wright. Yes, Claire. Now, I was a big fan of West Wing, and West Wing was great. It showed, behind the scenes deal making and all that kind of stuff. The things you need to do to essentially make the U.S. politics work, right? But West Wing was a very left-leaning series, in my opinion, and I find House of Cards would probably be more towards the right side of politics. It definitely deals more with instead of trying to come up with equalities and stuff like that and betterment of the country, it's more about the power. It's more about the government corruption, the underhanded deal makings and that kind of stuff. And it's all about Kevin Spacey's character to essentially rise to power. Like he's trying to get more and more power, and he has no problem stepping on others to do so. And of course, his wife is essentially like right there with him. Both of them are very much whatever it takes to get to the top type thing, right? And that was a very different take on things. Yes, there is obviously that whole deal making, but it was less of a give and take type thing that you saw in West Wing, and it was more of a, sort of like a threaten type thing. Find that political, the secrets of somebody and use that for blackmail or whatever reasons, or threaten people with stuff, rather than come to a mutual agreement, right? Excuse me. So that was a very different side of it. The other thing about this is it does break the fourth wall. Kevin Spacey does have kind of like conversations with the audience, right? Like there's this whole thing, and it's an ongoing thing throughout the entire season. I would assume it probably continues on through the rest of the series. And despite what you think of Kevin Spacey, I think he actually is really good in this role. Like he nails it, and maybe that's part and parcel that he may have a little bit of this character inside him, or maybe I don't know. I'm not going to get into the politics of Kevin Spacey and what happened to him down the road. We're just talking Season 1, and it does have a very, very big cliffhanger ending, which I won't give away, but yeah, this is one of those things where it's wow, it is quite I don't know. I think my, like when West Wing went down, there was kind of a void there for that political drama, and we did get a few other shows that came out after that were dealing with that kind of stuff, but I don't think any of them really had the power necessary to really hit it home and be, that staying power. But House of Cards, just from the first season, really catch it. Like, it really grabs you and it really pulls you in. So if you're into that whole, political drama, political theater, that whole government conspiracies and corruption and manipulation and dealing with the media, because that's a big part of everything, and the whole manipulating of people and stuff such like that. I think if you haven't watched it already, I think you should definitely check out House of Cards. Wow, season 1 so far has been quite interesting, and I do look forward to seeing season 2. Obviously, one of the best things about being Netflix is that you can watch it back to back. You don't have to wait for everything. Definitely helps with this kind of stuff, because it is an ongoing storyline. It isn't, each individual episode is not its own contained story, right? So yeah, I am quite interested in seeing where season 2 takes us. Essentially, each episode is, I would just, they're like 50 minutes long, so it's, say, picture an hour-long time slot. And yeah, each one kind of pushes into the next, like it should. It makes you want to watch the next one. But really, it is about Kevin Spacey. It is about his character and what he's doing. It all revolves around him and his wife to an extent. I'm sure she's going to become more of a player down the road, but not that she wasn't a player in the first season. She is, but it's Kevin Spacey's. It's Kevin Spacey's thing, right? But yeah, I definitely give it a 2 thumbs up, 5 out of 5 in terms of watchability and recommendation. It is very, very cool. It is very, very interesting, and as long as you're into that kind of thing, I think you'll get some kind of enjoyment out of it. Again, any real life politics, I'm putting that aside. I don't care about whatever. That is what it is. But yeah, I don't know if Netflix will keep this show on their programming or not. But yeah, time will tell. Maybe they'll pull the whole thing. Who knows? But yeah, definitely, I'm giving this a recommend. Especially if you're into that whole West Wing and anything to do with politics, drama, presidents, that kind of stuff going on. I think it gives a different look at things, and I don't know if there's going to be more dealings with the actual way things work in terms of the politics of the White House and all that kind of stuff, and the American government in the future, or if it's going to be more of this behind the scenes corruption type stuff. But I'm definitely willing to find out. So yeah, there you go. House of Cards season 1. Definite recommend. Definitely worth checking out. And time will tell if it's a series that is definitely worth keeping with. But yeah, comment down below if you've seen it. Again, this is dealing with season 1 only, so don't post about any of the other seasons. You can post what you think about Kevin Spacey. That's perfectly fine. But again, keep it spoiler free as much as possible. And if possible, let's keep it civil. Anyways, thanks for watching. Till next video, take care. Have a good one.